Hello, John Talley here with Partzilla.com, and as you can tell, we've been doing a little bit of work on our 2005 Honda CRF450R. Today, we're going to focus in on rebuilding the swing arm bearings, because when it was actually put together, you could take the back end and actually make it go click, click, click. And every other bearing that we've touched so far has been a mess. So let's step over to the table and look at the bearings I'm going to use to rebuild this. So what I went with is a kit from Pivot Works, and this is a very comprehensive kit with all the washers and the bearings and the needle bearings and the spacers, the seals, everything that you're going to need to do this. Now, if you do want to go with the factory OEM, there's not one part number that's going to have all of these inside of it. So what you would need to do is go to Partzilla.com, open up the exploded diagram for this particular year, make, and model, and then you can start picking out all the different pieces that you would need to make up this particular kit. In my opinion, this is really high quality, one part number. We know it's all going to work together, and it's going to be everything that we need to accomplish it. So we're going to dive into it and see if we can get this thing done. Oh, and by the way, we'll call out any special tools or hand tools as we go along, so you'll know which ones to gather up and maybe minimize how many trips you make over to your toolbox. So let's go. All right, guys, so we're only going to need a 17 millimeter to remove the shock. You've got the same size nut, top and bottom. Oh, but before I take that off, this is what we're trying to correct. Shouldn't have quite that much play. And it surely shouldn't sound like that. So that's what we're trying to correct. But we're going to make it all better. Right now it's resting on the shock itself, so we're just going to bring it up just a little bit. Relieve that pressure. That's one thing about a motocross bike. They're easy to take apart. All right, guys, you'll notice that I went ahead and removed both the pivot and the dog bone, and they're not absolutely required to do this particular procedure, but they are part of a larger project, and if you'd like to see how to rebuild those two individual pieces, why don't you reference the playlist for this unit. What I'm about to do next isn't absolutely necessary. I'm going to go ahead and remove the braking system as well as the rear tire, because this is actually part of a larger section or series of videos where we're completely rebuilding the machine, and I want to spend a little bit more time getting the swing arm stripped all the way down, get it cleaned up to where it really looks nice, along with all those other pieces that we just took off. So give me a few minutes to get this out of the way. We'll get the swing arm removed, and then we'll actually attack getting those bearings replaced. I do want to make one little note here. Now granted, you can use just a regular number 2 screwdriver most of the time, but if these screws are really tight, you run the risk of stripping them out, because most of your machines from Japan use a different standard. And it may look like a Phillips, but if you look really close, you'll notice that the angle is a little bit different in between a standard number 2 and one of the JIS standards. So if you're really serious about working on Japanese bikes, you may want to go ahead and invest in a set of JIS screwdrivers. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's go and remove the rear axle nut and the axle, and then we'll just lift off the braking system as one complete unit. There we go. Now, last bolt. And no, it did not come out this easy when we were removing the engine. It took a lot. So we will be replacing this, because I'm pretty sure I had to mushroom the end of it to get it out of here. It certainly did not do this. All right, guys, I am going to spend a little bit of time getting this cleaned up, and then we're going to carry it over to the teardown bench and get those bearings knocked out and replaced and rebuilt. All right, guys, we've got her cleaned up reasonably well. Now it's time to go ahead and start pulling off the collars and the washers and the bearings and everything else, and then we'll press the needle bearings out. So let's start digging into this. All right, we'll start by getting this outer washer. And as I pull these apart, I'll lay them out as they come apart, providing, of course, nobody else has been into this. And that makes it usually a little bit easier to determine the order of operations to put it back together. Let's go ahead and get our collar out, pivot collar that is. Then there should be an outer washer, our thrust bearing, inner washer. Yeah, tell me this isn't going to need to be replaced. Look at that. That's horrid. Yuck. Now, there's just a seal on the other side. Get that guy out. I want you to take note of the depth where this needle bearing is placed. It is just about even with the edge of the swing arm itself. It's going to be important that we get the other one pressed in to the same depth as well. So we're going to use a Motion Pro tool to extract them and the same tool to install the new ones. So here's the pieces we're going to be using. We're going to use this 29 millimeter from the bottom. We're going to cap it off with this collet. And of course we're going to have a threaded rod that goes through, a couple of washers, 19 millimeter nut on either side, and then that's going to push it up through and out. Now, before we start cranking down on this, let's add some grease on the washer. A little bit easier on our tool where it doesn't mar it up so bad. All right, that should be it. Let's go. Getting it to pop loose initially is the hardest part. There it is. The sound of success. As you do this, it'll get a little bit easier. The more it pushes out, less friction, less work. I think she's about done. There we go. Now that was a purpose-built tool. Look at the fit on that. Really nice. I challenge you to knock out one of these and pull another one in with just a socket or whatever. It's not going to be accurate enough. And these bearings, the walls are so thin, I don't think you can do it. Hey, prove me wrong, but this is the way I want to get it done. All right, going to line up our new stuff. So that's what we had working from left to right. Let's get that cleaned out. Then we're going to put a light layer of grease just to make it easier to push in. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and grease our bearings. I mean, the grease that the Pivot Works kit comes with is actually really good stuff, but if you have a personal favorite, go for it. But I'm going to go with what they sent. Really pack it in there. Okay. All right, now we're going to change up which collet or drift we're going to use because we want it to be just a little bit to the outside of the bearing this time because we want to stop it at that edge on the swing arm. The edges of the bearing are a little bit different from one side to the other. We're going to go with the stamped lettering facing out and this more curved edge going in. I added a little bit more grease back to the washers to minimize the wear. And the real trick here is to get it to pull in straight. It's just those first couple of turns that are so critical. There we go. Don't you kick on me. Kind of walking back and forth a little bit. But I think she's got it now. All right, let's expedite things a little bit. think we are there. Let's see what we've got. It's just a little bit below the edge, and that's where we started to begin with the other one. So we're good to go. We'll go ahead and finish the outside while we're here. We're going to grease each piece as we're putting it in. So that's washer, bearing. Really work the grease into it because they send more than enough. Washer. Then our seal. And you can pretty much just push this in with your fingers, and it's just going to be even with the outside of the swing arm. Maybe just a tick below it. Some more grease down into its groove. Outer washer. And when you put that outer washer, make sure it goes inside of the lip and doesn't push down on the seal that we just put in. On the other side is just the seal. All right, then we want to pack that cavity with grease. Last but not least, we just need to get the collar installed, and you'll notice that one side is shorter than the other. This is the shorter side. That's it. Now the other than the collar being a different length, is going to be the same procedure. So let's get it knocked out. And no, it doesn't look or smell any better on this side, guarantee you. All right, same game. Let's do it. Here's that first loop. There it is. When you hear that, it's not anything wrong. That's actually a good sound. If y'all noticed, I pushed this one out the opposite direction as I did the other side. It really doesn't matter. As long as it gets out of there, I'm probably pushing it further this direction. Matter of fact, I know I am. So I made myself work a little bit harder. I should have pushed it out. There it is. Voila. All right, let's get this prepped up again. All right. Yeah, she's walking it straight in there. It kind of got a little bit wonky, and then it kind of self-centers. Yeah. All right, same game as before. Grease on the washer. We're going to pack our needle bearing. I think you would call this a needle bearing. That's what I'm going to call it. Seems like it should be called a washer bearing. Our outside washer. Our outer seal. You want to make sure this cupped section is facing in. Then we're going to pack that void all the way around. This is going to function so much better. We'll go ahead and do our seal on the opposite side. Pack its void. Our new collar. Then our washer. That's it. All right, guys, now obviously we have a lot of work yet to do on this machine, but if you were just replacing the swing arm bearings themselves, you'd be ready to put this back together. Now, when you do reinstall this swing arm bolt, make sure you grease it down, bring it through. Of course, it's going to go through the engine. And on the other side, of course, you've got your nut and your washer. Same scenario for this back pivot point. Want to have a little bit of grease on there. So when you're ready to torque it, this one goes to 65 foot-pounds, this one goes to 39, and that will finish up your project. Well, unless you have to put your rear tire back on. Well, listen, if you need these parts or any others for your machine, why don't you come see us at Partzilla.com and we can get you taken care of. If you have any questions about this video, leave them in the section below and I'll do my best to answer them. And hey, if you like what you see and you want to see more, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you can keep up with whatever I'm working on next. We just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at Partzilla, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.